What's going on, everyone? Mike here with another video, and as you can see, I've got a new piece of cardio equipment. It's been quite a long time since I've actually done a review or any kind of fitness video for that matter. But this piece of equipment here is the Rogue Echo bike. Now this is an Aerodyne type bike, so Rogue is one of many different variants of this bike, but I went with this one for a variety of reasons, which I will get into right after this intro. All right, so the main reason that I went with this over the competition is the build quality. Now, I went and tested a couple Aerodyne bikes when I went to Dick's Sporting Goods. I looked online, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, so I did quite a bit of research before I bought this. And oddly enough, this one is about $100 cheaper than a lot of the competition bikes are. Now, I bought this one direct from the Rogue website. It had free shipping and it was around $800. Now, I'll post a screenshot showing the exact price just in case I screwed that up, but bought it directly from Rogue. I will say with this bike, it's out of stock quite a bit. It's a very popular bike, so if you go there, you want to buy it, it's out of stock, just literally just check every day and eventually it's going to pop in stock. But back to, again, the main reason I bought this is I'm not a light guy. As you can tell, I got a bit of a dad bod going on. So I'm probably about 245 pounds right now. So I wanted a bike that when I got on it, it's not going to wobble as I'm trying to rip the handles off, I should say. But I bought this so I could do some cardio, HIIT training, fat burning, basically try and get ready for summer and just lose some weight. So again, let's start with the build quality of this thing. As you can see, it's very robust, very heavy. This bike I think is about 120 pounds, but it's just everything is sturdy. Everything is way thicker than the bikes that I play with in store. It's got a very big seat, very comfortable. It's fully adjustable up and down, forward and aft. It's got actual like mountain bike type pedals. And again, it's just durable. And I love the fan on this. A lot of people will buy a shroud to block the air, but when I'm doing HIIT, I'm going all out. I'm going to start sweating profusely, especially in the summertime, so I do like this fan and how much air it actually kicks on me. It does get fairly loud, but again, not a big deal. But continue with the construction. Again, this does not take up that much space. I put it here in my home office where I do all my YouTube videos. I just put it in the opposite side, so if I were to flip the camera around, you'd see the normal YouTube setup that I got. But this thing is actually really easy to move around. So it just basically pivots. It's got the two wheels in the front and it rolls around fairly easy. So really, as long as you got a flat surface and you need to jockey this thing around your house, it's not gonna be an issue there at all. All right, so continuing again with the build of this thing. I will say assembly was very easy. I had it put together in under an hour. When you get it in the box, it's essentially comes 90% together. The only thing you have to put on are the handles, the neck and the display, and the pedals, and then the two front little stands or whatever you want to call them. But the majority of this thing comes together. So it really goes together rather quickly. And I will tell you, once you put these on, after you do your very first ride, retorque them, because there's going to be some play that'll build up just because as you're breaking this thing in, the metal itself is kind of getting seated. So I recommend after the first ride, you retighten these here, and then the manual actually says in about 3 weeks, redo it again, which I would definitely recommend, because as you're breaking this thing in, the metal's going to kind of torque and tweak a little bit, and there's going to be some play. So assembly was very easy. Now, when you buy this, it does not come with a little water bottle holder or a phone holder. I bought both of these, and I'm kind of wishing I didn't, just because when you're doing HIIT, you really don't much have time to drink, and you just, I don't know. I don't really need my phone on here, but it's there. It's the size of any standard bike accessory, so you don't have to necessarily get the one for this from Rogue. You can save some money, go to Amazon and get the one you want, and it'll fit. So the next thing I'll get into real quick is the actual display. It's super simple, very nice to use. So let me show you a close-up. All right, so this is going to be extremely hard to keep steady, so I apologize. But as you can see, going around, you got your start, up and down arrows, your enter, down, stop, and on the right side, you've got some preset workouts. So it's very self-explanatory. This is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Then this is the opposite, 10, 20, and then custom, and you can go in and make it. Target time, target distance, or calories, or target heart rate. So you can pick all of those and customize them. And it's very simple to operate this thing. So for instance, like if I pick this, it breaks it down. You got your 8 rounds, 20, 10. The total time, that'd be 4 minutes. When you're ready to go, you just hit start. And to clear anything out, you just hold your stop button. But the cool thing about the intervals is it'll beep, letting you know, and it just keeps doing the time. So pretty cool. Again, it's the same thing with all these, but the cool thing is if you're, you don't want to do either of these, you can just go to custom, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So it starts with intervals. How many do I want to do? You can go up and down arrow. When you get where you want, you hit enter, and it goes to, your rest time, work time. You can adjust that, hit enter. Same thing, intervals, work time. But you just play with it. It's super simple. Hit enter. When you're ready to go, you just hit start, and it starts. And you're cooking with Crisco. And the cool thing is, as you notice, it says heart rate down at the bottom. If you have pretty much any heart rate chest strap, it'll pair to this automatically. Like I've got the Polar H7. I didn't have to do anything. I just put it on, and it read it, recognized it, so it gave me a heart rate display the whole time. So super simple display, super easy to read, easy to operate, kind of caveman style. So I actually really like it quite a bit. But I will say I've done a few workouts on this now. I started with the 10-20 hit, which is again 10 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. I don't recommend it unless you're like elite conditioning. I mean, if you're in super good shape, I don't know. I don't even think freaking Matt Fraser himself could do the 20-10 and not be tired, because that's literally 20 seconds as hard as you can possibly go, 10 seconds of rest. Like I said, I did the 10-20, and my heart rate, once it got up after the first 2 rounds, 20 seconds was not enough time for my heart rate to go down. So really my heart rate was maxed for the entire 8 rounds, and I was dry heaving at the end. So I went ahead and went to custom, stuck with the 10 seconds, and then dropped my rest to a minute until, my cardio improves. So don't know why they put these two per se, unless you're like CrossFit elite, freaking super great shape, Matt Fraser conditioning, because this one, I don't see how on earth you could do that without dying. This one here was pretty brutal, but that's how you operate this thing. So I'll show you kind of a quick snippet of me using it, and then we'll wrap this thing up. All right, so I'm gonna start a quick, I'm gonna do my normal workout on this thing. I'm gonna do 10 rounds of 10 seconds, max, all I got, and rest a minute in between. Cool thing about this is I'm wearing my Polar H7 chest strap. The Echo Bike picks it up so I can see my heart rate on here. And then I like to record my workouts in a workout app. I use FitV Pulse. So simultaneously, my iPad or phone will pick it up. So in this case, I got my iPad off to the side, big display. I can see the workout on there. It records it for me. I usually do it on my phone, but right now I'm using my phone to record this. So in this case, I'm going to go do my custom workout here and go up to 10 intervals. I'm going to work for 10 seconds. You can't see this, but it's super user friendly. So there, I got 10 seconds of work, 1 minute of rest. And you can long press the button and it'll scroll a lot quicker. And this is going to be a total of 11 minutes and 40 seconds. And now that I've got it in there, all I have to do is hit start. It gives me a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And I'll hit start on my iPad here. So But starting on there, you'll see that 10 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. So here we go. Now when you're doing HIIT, you can either completely stop or just kind of go easy. I prefer to go easy, but that's one. As you can see, I'm almost 250 pounds and this thing barely rocks or anything, so that's why I went with the Echo bike. I won't be able to talk after this one. So I'll do a time lapse so you guys can see what a workout looks like on this thing. Alright, 15 more seconds. Halfway. I forgot to mention, the harder you go, the harder the resistance. That's 7 rounds. Imagine doing that and only having 20 seconds to rest. All right, so there you go. That was a little demo of me using this thing. Like I said, great piece of equipment. I highly recommend it. I mean, at $800, I still think the price is kind of high, but again, you get what you pay for. I imagine this thing is going to last for years. Thing I forgot to mention, like the old style, they actually had a bicycle chain type. This is a belt driven. So with the chain driven ones, you spin this thing up to max, you kind of can ease off and it's going to kind of idle and keep spinning. With this thing, not at all. So you spin this up to as hard as you can, and as soon as you let off, it's going to stop. So it makes it a lot harder than the traditional chain driven bikes. So it kicks your butt. I mean, my legs are still sore, still hurting from using this thing, but I definitely enjoy it as far as the results. I don't enjoy using it, but great piece of equipment, so highly recommend it. So again, if you guys have any questions on this, anything you want to see, anything you want to know, I'm happy to share it, but I will say this is a definite recommendation in my book, especially if you can find this secondhand and on sale. So as always, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You know, if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, I appreciate it if you do so. Thanks.